Title of this case is Scott Michael Maurer versus Jeff Smith and Jenna Smith. Are you Scott Maurer? You need to unmute your mic.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, Your Honor. Yes,
And you're Jeff
Michael.
Smith?
Yes.
And you're Jenna Smith?
Jenna Smith. Yes, sir.
Jenna, all right. First of all, I know everybody here, and you know I know everybody here. Mr. and Mrs. Smith are my neighbors. They live around the corner. Mr. Maurer I've known since he was born. I know both of his parents. I know him. He may have even done some work for me at one time. I can't remember. But anyway, I know everybody involved here. And I don't feel I need to recuse myself. That means remove myself. But if either party wants me to be recused and have another judge appointed to hear this, I could ask Judge Pattison to hear it. Mr. Maurer, do you have any objection to me hearing this matter?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I see them more than I see you because I go past their house a lot, but I see you around. And so as I said, I'm willing to do it. That's my part of what my job is. But let's talk about this. Excuse me. Just what nobody wants to watch, somebody blow their nose, but this is a claim for the statutory limit of $7,000. We're in small claims court. You had ability to see a little bit of it. It's pretty informal. We don't strictly follow the rules of evidence or procedure. I will allow hearsay like letters and contracts and other documents without a lot of foundational requirement. But everybody is under oath. There's no appeal from small claim. Any decision made here is final. Either party is allowed to ask to remove the matter to the general division of the court, where you could have a lawyer, have a formal record, have the right to appeal. But you have to tell me that before we start. Once we begin here, any claim is final and there is no appeal. Mr. Maurer, you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, you understand?
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Smith?
Yes, sir.
All right. You guys retain Mr. Maurer. Mr. Maurer, you have a contracting construction business, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what's the name of it?
Scott Maurer Construction.
All right. And the Smiths hired you to do some work to their home on Thompson Lane?
Yes, sir.
And according to your claim, you performed work, quite a bit of it, and they didn't pay. What's the story there?
I guess start from the beginning. Back in June.
How much do you believe is actually owed?
$7,201.89.
All right, well, let's find out. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, you agree with that or disagree?
Disagree.
All right, then start at the beginning. Tell me why you believe they owe you this amount of money.
Well, in the middle of June, Gina Smith had made a post about some water damage. I contacted them, met with them, oversaw the amount of damage and what needed to be done. We talked about us doing the work. We started on August 7th. Prior to August 7th, I had dropped a dump trailer towards the end of June. Dumped it 4 times before we started, which I have receipts for. On August 7th, we started in the house.
All right, now stop. How much was each of those dump charges?
Prior to starting, I have a receipt for $179.98, $179.91, $251.68. $179.75.
All right, that's before you even started the project.
Yes, sir. And I didn't charge them any time or labor or anything, just the receipts for those.
What were you dumping?
The debris from some of their tear out that they did, along with many household items, right down to the couch. I mean, the house was pretty well completely gutted as far as furniture and things like that. Kitchen cabinets were in there. Numerous things. Things from the basement.
Just a minute. Come on back in, Mr. Burr.
Okay. I need to let her know real quick.
No, I'll bring her in. You come up to have a seat right there.
Sorry, guys.
No need to apologize. Well, she's gone.
Oh,
So you reached an agreement. What was the
Yes.
agreement?
I'm gonna pay 50 today, and then at the end of the month, it'll be 250, and then 100 each month after that.
You'll pay right at the store.
Yes.
50 today, 250, and then 100 per month thereafter until paid.
Yes, sir.
Did you give her your address?
No, she didn't. I'll make sure I give it to her.
All right, when you go see her, what's that? Oh, Amber, there you are. I'm sorry, I didn't see you. He indicated he's gonna pay $50 today. Then later this month, he's gonna pay $250 and then $100 per month thereafter. Is that acceptable to you?
Yes, Honor.
Say that again?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes?
Yes.
All right. Now, he didn't give you his address. When he comes over there, make sure you get his current address and contact information.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Burr, you're free to go over there and make a payment, and eventually this will be taken care of.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Letson, I hope everybody pays for everything and you don't have to come anymore, but I think it probably isn't gonna happen.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right, so we can pay attention to just this. Let me get into the file. Did you give them a quote?
Just a verbal quote. We were working with their insurance company at the time. At the time of us originally talking, it was through their adjuster, and the insurance company had a quote of $24,660.61 to do the repairs needed. Throughout the course of speaking with their claims representative, after the adjuster was done, 4 different times, I believe, I have all the printouts of the changes in the claim. It went from in late June at
Well, just a minute,
24,000.
you didn't file any of that stuff. I don't have a contract, I don't have a quote, I don't have anything, any
we-
receipts.
I filed the receipts. The file that I have here that
Oh, wait a minute.
of what I
All
filed, I have some notes of our time.
right,
I do
here's
have the
the
original.
invoice from 9/29/25. So we're proceeding from that.
That was the final invoice after we left the job.
So you're claiming material total with dump receipts, 3,540, labor total, 9,660. Down payment on 8/8 of 4,000. Apparently there was a swap of a jet ski
Yes,
for
sir.
2,000, leaving 7,200. All right, let me add that up. 3,540 plus 9,660 equals 13,200 minus 6,000 gives us 7,200 that you claim you owed. All right. Now, and you've got some of this is sideways. I have to turn sideways to see it, but we've got a State Farm quote, and you're right. Their claim from the adjuster was worth 24,660. All right, you give them an invoice in September. Their answer to your complaint states he did not finish the job. He stated we want a counterclaim for $4,915.34 because he stated I can't read that word, and I'm not in any position to criticize anybody else's handwriting. What is that in your counterclaim?
And minor. Yes.
I believe plaintiff owes me money because he stated, what does that
He would
say?
fix the gutter and soffit, put a front door in.
So the
He
jet ski,
stated roof soffit.
yeah, the jet ski had nothing to do with the house repairs from the insurance. That's a completely separate thing.
All right, and six pump was,
Yeah, some pump.
The sump pump was
Sump pump.
installed incorrectly, it had to be redone. We paid him separately for that as well.
all right.
So the jet ski,
All right, well, we'll get back to that. I'll hear your response, but obviously there's a disagreement here. And we don't have a quote or a written contract to operate from. So we're kind of wandering in the weeds here. So you posted something on Facebook and said you had water damage.
I had water damage and was looking for a contractor.
What was the damage?
The damage was our upstairs bathroom, the toilet leaked. We were at a wrestling event all day. It leaked down into the hallway, into our bedroom, down into the kitchen and into our basement. And so we came home to a nightmare, cleaned as much as we could, then decided that we were gonna make an insurance claim and called Serve Pro.
All right, and then you put it out on the Fisher Lake site or somewhere else?
Find another contractor.
Boco Brothers was booked out and we're friends with a couple other contractors and they were booked. And so I put it on Facebook
All right, and
and
he
Scott-
responded to the Facebook.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So he agrees to do the work. All right,
Mhm.
so we'll get your side in a minute. We're still
Okay.
trying to get clear on his side. All right, so Mr. Mauer, go ahead.
Well, on August 7th, we started work on the house, completing the rest of the tear out that was left from drywall, some doors, miscellaneous flooring, subflooring, I should say. And proceeded to put the house back together. We're doing some repairs beyond even the scope of the insurance work, just to make it, complete. And on September
All right,
17th,
well, let me stop you. So you say you put the house back together. This
Yes.
isn't like a Lego set. You got new plumbing to do, you got new drywall, you got taping, seaming,
Yeah.
flooring. What did you do?
I do have a file of 101 pictures. I originally thought that we would be in a courtroom. I would be in a courtroom as well. Is there some way I can share this file of pictures with you that show the state of the house from the time we got there to look at the work to the day that we started work, all the way to September 17th, the last day of work?
All right, well, so in your
We did.
I'm gonna sit there twice. In your second complaint, you state, work completed between 8/7 and 9/17, including miscellaneous tear out, minor electrical, plumbing, framing, drywall hanging, finishing, cleaning, painting, and soffit and fascia work. Included an invoice is a copy of all receipts and written breakdown of man hours, materials with dump fees. So you got material totals, which this all seems cheap for the amount of work you're describing. So the materials with the dump fees are 3,540, 3,540, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what is that?
It was for drywall, for the kitchen walls and ceiling, upstairs bathroom walls and ceiling, some framing materials for a door that we framed in between the upstairs master bathroom and their bedroom that they no longer wanted. So we framed it in, drywall both sides. Miscellaneous primer. We primed all the floors in the house due to stains, soiled areas from animals. Plumbing was the new toilet flange for the toilet upstairs that had been removed prior to us getting there.
Did you tape and seam and sand this drywall or just
Oh yeah,
put it up?
yep. And we primed and painted the lower level kitchen. Had primer on the bathroom upstairs. Started the bedroom upstairs after all the mud work, including the stairway wall going upstairs, which we found during the course of the work the drywall hadn't been screwed properly to the wall. So as you can see in one of Gina's pictures, that there's a bunch of screw holes, marks where we screwed the wall and then mudded it beyond the scope of the insurance work. And then as far as electrical goes, we replaced a damaged, burned out receptacle in the kitchen with a GFI that would control the other receps in that line, and also found in the ceiling a live wire coming from a light fixture, a can light that was over the sink. The wire, there was another wire coming off of that light, just laying up in the rafters on a board and live every time you turn the light on. So we eliminated that wire, put in a new can light there. We found that all the ceiling boxes for the electrical, the rough end boxes were all metal boxes. They had no grommets for the wires coming through the hole. You're supposed to have a wire clamp or a plastic grommet so that that wire is not rubbing on the metal box. We installed those in all the open boxes in the kitchen.
All
prior
right, so
to
you
the
got,
drywall.
your material and labor.
Yes,
and
sir.
You got 9,660 in labor. What you're describing me would sustain that. So they paid $4,000 on 8/8. All right, so they claim that the jet ski isn't part of this deal. What's your story regarding that?
When we met originally, I had had interest in Jeff's jet ski for years. I liked that style. I'd already bought one. I had one prior to doing the work. His then needed a lot of work. But I agreed to barter essentially the jet ski for a new front door. And they had mentioned, Jeff had pointed out the state of the soffit and fascia on the house, which there was a bunch missing, some falling out. And I agreed to help them there with the soffit and fascia and the door. And after the blow up on September 17th, I was already in possession of the jet ski. So I put that of pretty decent value of $2,000 towards what they owed.
So you no longer have the jet ski that they've got?
Oh, I still have it.
All right, who has the title?
I do.
All right.
I haven't transferred anything yet. Could easily give that back.
All right, talk about the blow up on the 17th.
On the 17th, I was leaving the job site. It was about 7 o'clock at night, and Gina had showed up. There was appliances coming, and she was asking about the appliances, waiting to have them installed, or us installing them, having them delivered, and then us installing them, because the delivery place where they bought them, Lowe's, was gonna deliver and install. We didn't have the kitchen cabinets up, which had just arrived a few days prior. So I told her that we would hook them up. I mean, it was a dishwasher, oven, fridge, microwave. And I made the comment that we had done other extras beyond the scope of the work that we had agreed upon, and I wasn't worried about it. It wasn't that big of a deal. And I said, as long as I got my $17,000 at the end, which is what we had agreed upon. She said we agreed upon $14,000 and completely lost it and called me everything but a white man, a crook, a liar, a thief, at the top for lungs in the front yard. And I told her I was leaving. I wasn't going to do this. And I proceeded to leave. And the next day, after talking with Jeff and going back to get all of our stuff out of there until we had something in writing, and talking to Jeff, I decided I couldn't go back. I just, too much had been said, and I couldn't give him 110% on that job at that point. I couldn't even go back to that job at that point. And then I was told if I came back on the property, it would be trespassing and so forth.
Yeah, we don't say I was called anything but a white man.
Oh,
This is 1956. So I don't even know where that started, but
I don't know.
it's 2026. So my
apologize.
apologies. All right, so this is news to me that you were gonna do the whole job for 17,000 was the quote.
Yes, and some supplementals, which the insurance company had agreed to pay at the end, which would have amounted to $4,000 to $5,000 at the time.
All right, was that written down anywhere?
That was just my speaking with their claims representative at State Farm. or auto owners. I don't even remember.
You've been in business long enough. I can't even believe you would do this. So you did an amount of work and then after the blow up, you said you couldn't go back. So they're in the middle of this job and you left the job undone.
Yes,
How
sir.
much was left to do?
The kitchen cabinets needed installed, the flooring was there, needed installed, and the bathroom needed finished and then trim miscellaneous paint.
All right. Did you ever get any check from the insurance company?
Myself, no.
Yes.
Everything went to Gina and Jeff.
All right. So he did an amount of work. Claims he didn't get paid. Apparently he didn't get paid other than $4,000. You got a different perspective in that you're claiming he left you high and the dry in the middle of the project. What's your take of the, we'll call it blow up on September 17th?
I take up, Your Honor, my take
So
of the
first thing, one thing I didn't do with anybody, all right, please raise your right hand. Everyone here swear any testimony you gave or are about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
Yes.
is
sir.
All right. All right. Tell me what your perspective of that is.
the blow up in September, it was coming to a head the entire time. I asked over, and I have it, and I printed off all the texts individually, where I asked about 16 different times in different ways for something in writing, whether it be an invoice, a contract, an estimate that he can provide that we can show our mortgage company and our insurance company. So we know what we're paying. And so what we know what we're paying him and what his fees are. He never gave that to us.
Now,
also-
this thing, it's dated 9/29 invoice. So was that the first document you got of what it was he claimed was owed?
Yes. The first document we got was Your Honor, was the $4,000 down payment, which I was unhappy with because it said the rest of the fees will be agreed upon, da, 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 da. So, and before that, I'd already asked him several times for a contract or an invoice of what I would be paying him. I also have in text that he told us that he would be conceding some of the labor costs or some of the cost to us for his labor. So $50 an hour, I wouldn't think would be conceding any of the costs. We never agreed upon any hourly rate, and I would never, ever do that. It was a job that I had through my insurance company. They created that estimate.
All right, what did you think the job cost was? He said 17,000. He says you said 14,000.
During one of the drives or where we were dealing with the kitchen cabinets, he made a comment saying, as long as I got about 14 grand for the job, when it's all said and done, we should be good to go. We never agreed on any number. And I have that, or I've asked them down to the last day in September, where I said, I need something in writing to provide for my mortgage company. I also have a letter from Scott with JD Construction saying everything he did needed to be redone because it wasn't done properly.
JD Construction is Jeff Drain
And Scott Ertman.
and Scott Ertman, and they have a construction company that does stuff. They've done work for me. Let's go to that. I was looking for something else.
You didn't submit that or?
The letter, he just sent me the letter February 7th. But I did provide the estimate that they did when they took over. And it does state some of things on the estimate that needed to be redone, but he did provide an overall
All
letter.
right, that is the JD Construction 9/20/25 estimate.
Mhm,
You have that.
mhm.
But then there's a subsequent letter.
He also provided for the counterclaim, the gutter and soffit costs.
You're trying to get past everything to get to that letter.
She just got it, so.
Oh, it's not
I
in
just
yet.
got this
Oh,
letter,
well, let me see it. I'm looking for it in the
On,
electronic files. I didn't
January
remember.
28th, he's,
All right, go ahead. Well, I'll just read it.
oh, I'm sorry.
At the property of 1991 Thompson Lane, Three Rivers, we had to install a header between the dining room and the living room because the drywall is even and could not be married together without noticing that the drywall in the kitchen had to be skim coated because of uneven gouges. The walls were primed and had bad roller marks that had to be sanded down and reprimed. Flooring had to be sanded and floor leveler had to be installed because of uneven in spots. Drywall had to be doubled in the bathroom because the framing for the tub shower was wrong and the tub was set. The plumbing in the basement had to be taken apart and cleaned and re-glued because it was leaking. Signed, Scott Erdman, JD Construction. All right, and you also mentioned something about a sump pump.
Yeah, that's the plumbing in the basement.
All
We put
right.
injection pump in.
I paid him separately for that, so we did that as part of the counterclaim.
So that's not, the sump pump is not part of this deal?
It wasn't part of the insurance claim, so I paid him separately for that. I paid him cash and I provided the receipts that he gave to me. Totaled up for that.
Mr. Mauer, what's the name of your business?
Scott Mauer Construction.
Does it have a license?
I just have a DBA. And can I respond to the sump pump issue there in the picture, number one?
Let me stop you. I thought you were licensed. Under the law, you have to have a license to sue somebody. I should have done this first. I saved a lot of time. You can't, you're a residential builder, a residential maintenance and alteration contractor. You are running naked. You don't have a license. And if you don't have a license, you can't sue anybody. So you don't have the right to sue them unless you're a licensed residential building and alteration contractor. I thought you were. You get zero. You're running naked. Every time you do a job and if you sue somebody for money, you don't have the right to sue somebody unless you have a license. You need a license to do all of these jobs. In fact, it's a misdemeanor to operate as a residential builder or residential maintenance and alteration contractor. You need to be licensed by the state of Michigan. We get lots of these, and you've been doing this for so long, I just assumed you had a license.
Since 2020.
Well, a DBA is not a license.
No.
From the state of Michigan. So you don't have the lawful right to sue them. I should have done that first.
Yeah.
Claim is zero.
All right.
I could have saved us about the last 45 minutes. This comes up periodically. It's not just this, but a number of things. You need a residential maintenance alteration contractor license to do things like swimming pools and patios and driveways, some roofing, siding. And you need a residential builder license to do things like you're doing plumbing, you're doing electrical, you're not a licensed plumber, you're not a licensed electrician, and you're not a licensed residential maintenance and alteration contractor. So you don't have the right to sue. So I don't have to decide who was right or wrong or who owes anybody how much money. Kim, would you prepare a clean one of these for me? I find for the defendant, dismiss the case.
Your
Right.
Honor, what about the counterclaim?
Oh, good point. You don't have a right to defend the counterclaim. You're really running naked. Not only do you lose, you get a counterclaim judgment against you in the amount of, I thought you were licensed, in the amount of $4,915.34.
When and how again am I in the hole here after I'm already in the hole 7,200?
Yes, you
The
are.
county
That's what you
claim?
get for doing this without a license. Not only do you not get paid because you don't have standing to sue them, you don't have standing to defend the counterclaim. So, you need a license to do this. You can't even file a lawsuit, and they sued you and you don't have the right to defend it. So
We
I don't even have to
essentially
think
did
about this
handyman
very,
work.
yeah, this is, seems unfair, but you're doing this without a license, which is a crime.
Nothing we did required a building permit or anything of the such. It was essentially handyman work.
Yes, it did. At least if not a full-blown building permit, a residential alteration and maintenance contractor license. Did you get permits for any of this?
The insurance company took care of all that.
And JD Construction, when they took over, they took care of everything. And Your Honor, he did take some of our siding off and some of our soffit off and left it like that. And it's been like that throughout the winter. So you made the comment that it seems unfair, but he did damage to our home. And then we had to redo.
Well, it seems unfair to him.
Yeah.
But I guess that's in the eye of the beholder.
Mhm.
You need a license to do this. Your opinion that you don't is, I disagree with it. In fact, you need a license to do everything you're doing at Scott Mauer Construction. A DBA is not a license from the state of Michigan to perform this type of work. So my regret, you owe them $4,915.34, and you get zero on your claim. And that's just how it went. All right.